Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
All right. Well, today's a little bit spooky. It's the 11th of the month, and I realized, I cannot keep avoiding it. Time to pay the bills. And so logged into my bank account, and fortunately, on the $10,000 credit card, there's about $1,000 remaining. And, we ordered some supplies. We ordered some items to the retail store, and that's why the bill is up there. And so there's a few pressures going on right now, and I'm feeling it. So the line of credit, we've tapped in about $20,000 so far. And sorry, my watch is beeping at me. We've tapped the line of credit, $20,000 in, and this month we'll probably break even. Even after like the big surge of renewals that are auto-enrolled, we'll probably break even. And that's a little scary because it was supposed to be a juicy month. And so there's about $40,000 remaining on the line of credit. And at the current pace, that's about 4 months if we lose 10 grand a month. Like this is getting stressful really quickly. So I don't really know where to go or who to turn to. It wasn't really made clear where I should go if things get stuck or if things are not looking rosy. Should I go to my franchisor? Because I don't know if what can they do? Are they going to tell me raise prices? We're already at the upper end of our pricing point. Get more customers. I'm doing that. We're paying triple on ad spend what other clubs are doing in the space, and we can't turn them profitable fast enough. Cut costs. Cool. What costs should we cut? I don't see any. We've already trimmed down some subscriptions, and I don't know what else we can do. We're going to pay rent. We're going to pay salaries. We're going to pay royalties. That makes up like 80% of our costs. And then the others are the small ancillary ones like utilities, which utilities are tough. Music subscriptions, the website technology fees, there's not really much that we can cut. So reaching out to corporate, that's one option, but I also don't want to just complain and say, hey, fix my business, when it's not their job to fix my business. I could talk to my banker and say hey, banker, what should I do? And then he'll probably say, go talk to the franchise. And say, great, they're going to tell me the same things that I just told you. I could talk to the members, but the members probably just hear the same thing of, well, get more members, get more sales. So who do you go to when things are tight? I don't really know. Last thing you want to do is just shock everyone and say, hey, everyone, doors are closing. Some people will say, hey, you should have reached out. You should have asked for help, even if there's nothing that they can do to help. So I don't know. I should have asked a long time ago, hey, if I get into a bind or if things are getting rocky or I'm struggling, who should I reach out to under what situations? Is that something for the franchisor to get involved in? Is that something for the bank to get in, like my checking account, savings account bank to get involved in? Is that something that my lender who made the SBA loan gets involved in? I just don't know. So I'll probably, I guess step one is going to be reaching out to the franchisor, because if this thing implodes, they're going to be in the list of folks that need to get paid out. So it's terrible of ways to think about it. The folks that are going to be most upset if we shut the doors down and I'm on the hook for something, probably the franchisor and the lender. But something that's helping me make a tough decision, the agency that's helping with the sales rep, I need to make a pivot. I've been antsy and I don't want to make the tough decision on replacing the person, but they're not performing. They are doing half of the results that we need. And it's just not working. So I'm on contract with that agency for another 6 weeks. I'm 6 weeks into that contract. I have 6 weeks to go. So I'm going to I need to reach out to that agency and say, hey, the rep, they're putting in the effort. The results are not coming in. It's going to be in the details. that I can't quite put a finger on, but I can put a finger on it. So classes start at the top of the hour and they're booking people in the middle of class to come in and take it. So that can't work. They're double booking people. They're following up on people that are like, yep, I'm ready to come on in. And then they text them like 3 more times, like, hey, looking forward to seeing you. Hey, here's directions. Hey, can't wait to see you. And the people are getting annoyed and they just walk away. So it's the little things like that that are probably hurting us. And this agency just set up a Slack channel that includes everybody. I don't need everybody. I just need the account manager in Slack. Say, like, hey, just so you know, this is not working. We need to make a change because the business will be closing in a couple months and I'm losing money working with you guys. So if you want to keep me as a client, I need to make a switch now. And that's uncomfortable. That's happened to me in my career, and I hate it when people do it to me, and that hurts. And unfortunately, I need to do it right now with that rep. And I remember the first time I ever had to do this. I remember their name. I remember like thanking me for the time of appointment, and I feel bad. And I'm still young enough in my career where I haven't had to fire people before, and it still stings when I do it. And I probably need to have thicker skin. But at the end of the day, the studio has to survive, and unfortunately, I need to make a hard decision. I need to live with that pain and work through that pain. So that's where I'm at. That's where the business is at during summer months. I'm trying to hold on to August when the seller made this giant PIF run and all these other PIFs should come back in. That can't be my savior. I cannot rely on that PIF thing to save things. We've only had 1 profitable month out of 5. And that profitable month was like the biggest sales month of the year. So I don't know what to do. Other than increase sales, increase revenue, increase customer base, increase prices, like more money, more revenue. Yeah, no kidding, Sherlock. I'm doing that. I'm investing hardcore in that, and it's results are not coming in, and that's frustrating. I just don't know what to do, and it's eating up my mental space. And I still have my day job to do. I'm tired of working late nights, and I just don't know. I don't know. All I can do is work with sales, work with my accountant to make sure like nothing weird is happening on the expense side of things, work with my sales team to make sure we're doing the best we can on that side of things, and keep working the day job. And if we lose 10 grand a month, and it's March, like it's to July, I have to feed in funds for a month, which I don't know how I'm going to get 10 grand to keep the doors open. I just need a good sales month. We got to have a good sales month. That's the only way we really can do it. So just need to get this out because when things are not going well financially, you do not want to open the bank account. You don't want to look at the bills you got to pay, the expenses you need to churn out, and just tired of banging my head against the wall. Don't know what I'm doing wrong. Don't know who to talk to. And the folks that I can talk to, I don't think are able to fix it. At the end of the day, when you're the owner, you're the person who's supposed to fix it. Other people can guide you and say, hey, yep, go do this and go do this. And if you're already doing this, then what's the point? Is the only thing that's valuable is if you get novel information or new direction or new insights. And right now, I don't know what new insights I can gather, which is why you meet with people, but I don't know. Other than we have the check-in with my sales team in an hour, we're doing some training and objection handling with my staff, and then we're going to go from there. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. And assuming the gym turns around, this is going to be quite the story to tell. Because right now, things are looking pretty dire. Early March. And slow months, we're pulling out $10K a month to keep things going. So that puts July we'll have a pop, so it's not going to be like treacherous decline. I'll never forget though, when the seller did the PIF run, they cut off all marketing. Their response was, "Why would I pay marketing for your revenue?" And I've been stuck in that for a long while. And the answer is because your financials say that you will. Because your integrity says you will behave the same way in the next 60 days that you have been the past 2 years. When you buy a well that's producing oil or water, you don't stop pumping because someone's going to take over in 3 months from now. You keep pumping until the day of transfer so that they can keep pumping. The point of buying an oil well is that it's going to keep producing oil, that's keep going to producing cash flow. And yeah, the guy screwed me over. And we say the guy, the person, of the two sellers, the seller that made the decision to cut off all future, to stop feeding this well. And now I'm paying the consequences, and he's waiting for a seller financing payout. And you want to get paid out right away. Yeah, no wonder you want to get paid out $55,000 the day after closing and circumvent, or not, I don't know if circumvent's the right term, but he wanted to hey, like, I'll give you a $3,000 discount if you pay me out right now. Like, yeah, I'll pay you out as it's profitable. We've lost money every month. I'm going to draw out his seller financing note as long as I possibly can. Even if things are profitable, no, you put me in a rock and a hard place heading towards bankruptcy within a year of the purchase. No, I'm not going to pull you a solid, bro. Like, no, by no means. I'm going to follow the contract that we signed. I'm going to follow the terms of the agreement. If this thing ends up going bankrupt, then sorry, you're out $50,000. You get to wait in line behind other people. If this thing ends up working out nicely, then no, you will reap what you sowed. You will get paid based on what we agreed upon. I'd be happy to pay you ahead of time. But no, you do not get paid faster because you scheduled this business to fall apart right after the sale happened. And either the seller was negligent about the accounting and truly did not know what the other seller was doing with the books and the commingling of funds and the wage theft of employees, making them pay taxes when they were under the assumption taxes were paid. No, either you're a negligent business owner or you are mischievous and have ulterior motives. And I don't know the right label to put on it, but either way, you're in denial or you are completely trying to hose people. And one way or the other. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You just didn't know about the accounting for a seller who was not the accounting. So that's my event. I'm learning to not fear the downward trajectory. Let's pretend this thing does crash and I can't save it. I'm not going to expend my health and my mental energy stressing over destruction. If it's fate and it's inevitable, I'm not going to fret about it because it's going to happen whether I can or not. And if I can fix it, then there's nothing to stress about because I can do what I'm doing and we're going to figure this out. And so stress, pressure, anxiety will not improve the situation. It's only my reaction to the situation and the cards that I've been dealt. I'm doing the best I can. People are saying I can do more by coding in the studio. I don't think that's going to benefit the studio. Working my day job at the gym. So I'm going to do the best I can. I'll send out a message to the franchisor. At the end of the day, you're an independent business owner. The franchisor is not going to rescue your business. They may give you an out. They may buy your studio for like $50,000 so that you don't have as much of a bankruptcy to deal with. I mean, that's always a possibility, but franchisors usually get hosed the same way that buyers can get hosed. Why would you, in the stock market, it's called catching a falling knife. If something's going to, or what is it? Even a dead cat bounces. I guess it's a little different, but catching a falling knife, trying to rescue a failing business, you either need to be very good at doing it or you're just going to hurt yourself and you're going to get cut on the way down. And so it's very uncommon for franchisors to buy back locations, especially when locations are historically closing already within the system. So I'll reach out to the franchisor. I'll find a time to talk with them, but I have little expectations. I have more hope talking to my banker and talking them through it, because they may have some ideas. If this thing ends up working out, they may have some business, sales, and marketing and growth ideas. If this thing ends up falling apart, they may have some bankruptcy, wind down tips and tricks for how to deal with closing up shop. So either way, I think the bank's going to be more helpful than the franchisor. I don't know if that's my particular system or if that's just kind of a business owner thing, franchisor or not. And no shame if that's my system. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be a huge guide on how things are going, more so the referral of vendors. And so, yeah, I definitely don't want to come across as I'm like bashing my franchisor by any means. That's not the case. No, I had low expectation because I knew this is a business ownership thing. My job is to own, operate, and profit of a thing, and they help with the branding and the connections and some generic industry marketing. So no, franchisor and I were good. Some people expect the franchisor to do a lot. I did not have that expectation. And so I'll talk to the bank. I'll send out a message to the banker, send out a message to the franchisor. I'll send up the yellow flags. I'm like, hey, just so you know, over the past 6 months, we've lost $60,000. The current pace will make it until August, September. Any tips or tricks or guidance as to how we can keep the doors open? And then we'll go from there. If your business is struggling, most likely it's a lack of sales, lack of marketing, lack of customers, or lack of pricing or retention. It's either not enough customers, not enough costs. There's 3 issues with the business: either not enough customers, not enough revenue per customer, or you lose your customers too. We're losing our customers at like a 3% rate a month, and industry is like 5 to 6% a month. So it's not our loss. We're charging $179 a month, $179, $169, depending on the package, a month, which is like upper average. We're not like the most expensive, but upper average on our pricing. It's our volume of members. We got to get in more quantity of members. And that's why we're marketing so crazy, because we need to get more members. And right now we're still at like a 5 return investment for our marketing process. And so, or what is it? Our ROAS is 1.5, which is not as good as I want it to be. But our 1 year return on investment for customer is still up there. But I need to swap out my sales rep. This replacement sales rep. The first one I had, the OG, he was phenomenal. The gal I have right now is struggling, so I need to swap her out quickly. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. And I'm learning emotionally to not internalize and bear the stress of failure, because if things pan out, there's nothing to stress about. If things end up failing, then it's going to fail while I'm doing all the right things. But let's go. Send enough a message to the franchisor. Let's send enough a message to the bank, and figure out what we can do from here. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.